or the next Hassan Sunny. And we're going to show you, that's us taking a picture of Hassan Sunny. So shout out to you and Dapur Hassan, because John enjoys the Mee Rebus a lot.
Oh yeah, I love that Mee Rebus. It's in Tampines, but it's just near where we are. So we really enjoy it. But that being said, the reason why we want to bring up Hassan is because I think over the course of the 2 games against South Korea and Thailand,
he was a star.
4-4-2 Dudes.
Welcome back to another episode of 442 Dudes. Sawadee-kap. I think it's kap lah. But in any case, this is another episode, and we'll see you next for our next segment that we call 90 Minutes of. Now I crave for Thai omelette rice. So we'll see you. Welcome to 90 Minutes Off, and this is where we'll be sharing what kind of matches have been happening. And I think this one is going to be very close to us, John, because we were there live. We were there live watching the game, and that was, well, it kind of felt like the other way around, but it was Singapore versus Thailand.
Yes.
I mean, what did you feel about that?
I thought the atmosphere was not too bad.
Yeah.
My only disappointment was before the game happened, there wasn't any booths that were set up, to rouse the crowd, to make it more exciting.
Yeah, I felt it too, huh?
So, I mean, I was mentioning to you, right? There was only one miserable booth where, I think you... Some brand. There was a sports booth there, trying to showcase their sporting attire and their shoes and nothing else. Yeah. There's nothing about the national team. Yeah. There's nothing about the merchandise. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. That was the only negative thing. Yeah. But the positive thing about this whole match was that I think the national team is finally getting some support.
I have to agree with you. It was a weekday. I mean? Yes. The match took place on a weekday, and it kind of got sold out in a way lah.
Correct.
In a way, I'll put it. With 20,000 tickets gone on a weekday, on a weird weekday as well, Tuesday, I believe, if I remember correctly. You thought, okay lah, may not happen, but it did. So I do agree with you that there is some support for that. But,
so in pre-game, I thought, not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, for a Singapore national team game, I thought it was one of the... Finally, we felt something like at least, like, you know what I mean?
We're coming together.
Coming together. There were many people wearing a national jersey. Oh, yeah. Obviously, there are a lot of people, I mean, because of the color of the club that they support. But it's nice to see everybody coming together and supporting the national team.
It was.
So, and then once we went into the ground, wow.
Yeah, I mean... It was very lively.
Very lively.
But we gotta give credit, because we were saying it when we were sitting down. We gotta give credit to the Thai fans as well.
Oh my
I think given the I wouldn't say small quantity, but given the sizing of the seats that they were given,
I think
the number of seats they were given.
2,000, probably a maximum of 2,000.
They were very loud. Very loud.
Not just loud, they were cheering.
Yeah. And coming in with all the ethnic costumes,
Oh, yes.
And coming in with big banners, coming in with flags, just singing their hearts out, dancing their hearts out, cheering their hearts out. I mean, you got to give it to them.
Definitely. And it's throughout the match. It wasn't just like, maybe the first, obviously Thailand scored very early in the game, but throughout the whole game, they were very, very loud, to the point where at every stadium, right? There will always be a ringleader, galvanizing the crowd, wanting to sing along the songs, like the conductor of sorts. Yeah. To the point where he had to come and say, "Come on, guys, we need to be louder than them." I mean, they are 2,000 strong, I guess.
Yeah.
We are more than 20,000 strong.
Yeah, about there.
But I think we kind of lost to them.
Yeah.
In terms of the cheering and the support. So we got to give it to the Thai.
We got to give it to them. They're in foreign land and they did it. They did it loud.
So that was the atmosphere that we're talking about. So now let's let's focus on the game now. Okay. So what are your thoughts about the game?
I think my thoughts about the game is plain and simple. As I've said earlier, at the very start of this 90 minutes, it really felt like as if Thailand was more at home compared to Singapore. We were just being bombarded with attacks from the flanks, left, right, center, whatsoever. Thailand was dominating for at least the first 10 minutes, and that led to a goal for them. And it just wasn't what we thought it would be, because I remember I was telling you as well, halfway through the game, back then when Singapore went up against the likes of Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, like that one, we would think we would come out on top somehow, or at least there would be some glimmer of hope. But in this case, it from the get-go, it just didn't felt that way. It again felt like, we are away, we're not home. So
I think you're absolutely right in this. When we saw the starting lineup, we saw the formation, 5-4-1.
Yeah.
Why would you be starting with 5 at the back at your home ground in the only game in your group match that you have the highest chance of winning? Why would you want to do that? I really don't understand. I think at that point of time, the moment the team sheets came out, I think the players and the fans knew that we lost the game.
Well, I think the fans, most of them especially, the fans just went, this is the kind of lineup?
Exactly.
I mean, what are we going for?
Exactly. I was like, oh my goodness. And the fact that when Thailand scored the goal, I don't remember which minute they scored.
Very early.
I think I was still trying to settle down.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I was busy, I was busy to do the Instagram. I was because the reception, the Ethernet connection wasn't very good there. So I was just waiting. I was just trying to post an Insta story and stuff. Oh, here we go and stuff. I was still trying to.
Yeah, you were.
I was still editing my post when they scored.
And all of a sudden we just.
I didn't even see the goal.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, what?
Just like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
No, but wow, seriously, why? And throughout the game, things didn't really change much. They were very, very much defensive almost throughout the game.
Yeah.
Even when Shawal Anwar came on.
There was just a glimmer of attacking sense. Just a glimmer.
Not so much.
Yeah, just a glimmer.
It was very, very disappointing.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I think I mentioned to you during the game itself also that, Singapore, we have this tendency to copy others.
Yeah.
Right? In not just in football, but the game shows and whatnot. We have this tendency to, because these people are doing well, let's copy them. Let's follow what they do. But we also have to be realistic. We can't always copy every single thing.
We need our own Singaporean identity.
We need to have our identity. And this thing I'm talking about is, in terms of footballing, in the footballing terms, is playing out from the back. We don't have the technical skills. We don't have the composure to play this way. Why would you want to play out of the back from the defense, playing passing and all, when you can't even hold the ball? And because of that, you actually allow and you're basically inviting the Thais to come and press you all the way from the front. And when that took place, and it happened so many times, and yet the coach didn't change the tactic at all. Yeah. Which is something I don't understand.
I think, a lot of fans share the same sentiments as you. And it just shows. At the end of the day, the results show that. What are we doing? What are we telling the players? Not we, but what is the coach telling the players? What are the players being told to do? I got to give credit after we went down by 1 goal. We kind of got back into the game. The crowd was also into it. We did capture that moment as well. The crowd just coming. So I think that was quite fun, to be able to celebrate a goal. I was thinking we could have never celebrated a goal on that day, on that night rather. But thankfully we did. So I'm quite glad we at least celebrated a goal.
Okay, I'm not sure whether VAR was in place.
Oh yeah, I know. You're going to say the offside thing, is it?
I think, to me, it was offside.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, from where we were seated, we couldn't really see.
Yeah, we couldn't really see.
Because the goal that Singapore scored in the first half was the opposite side from where we were. And we were sitting behind the goal.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really see, maybe we couldn't really see the goal, but based on the replays, it looked as if he was offside.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was given. So
it was given.
Luckily for
and
us,
we got to celebrate. So.
Oh yeah. I think there's a video to show the celebration.
But still, speaking of behind the goal, we were behind Hassan Sunny for the first half. I just want to say that. Yeah.
There's so much action over there. I didn't want action to be there. And they wanted to be the other side.
That was quite funny because, we didn't want the action to be at our end. So, we were behind Hassan Sunny. So I think we have this video as well that's playing. We're very happy. We're very happy.
Just look at the video. I saw the boys that were
the boys were in front of us. They were happy as well. That's what football is all about. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. Doesn't matter who you are. We just come together to celebrate.
And speaking of those boys, I think it was very nice to see. I think as we were leaving the stadium, I remember I saw a lot of different school teams. I think very young children.
Right.
Then they're representing their schools.
The respective football clubs,
respective schools, and then the football clubs and all that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fantastic to see all these young players or these budding footballers, watching the game, supporting our national team. And they're all so young. They're all in their secondary.
About secondary school age. Yeah.
Poly and all. It was a very, very nice sight to see. So for all the negativity that we have, with the FAS and all, I mean, I think we have said enough. I think people online have said enough. But if you were just to focus a little bit on the positive side, I think it's very, very heartening to see that, the younger ones are wanting to support our national team.
Yeah, I think that's good, because that's when the support really gets nurtured, gets cultivated in a very PC way from the grassroots levels. We're able to see people coming down to support. So yeah.
Who knows? We might unveil the next Danelle Tan.
Danelle Tan and whoever.
She's the best, really. There's nobody else. There's nobody else that's of the similar level to her.
Or the next Hassan Sunny. And we're going to show you, that's us taking a picture of Hassan Sunny. So shout out to you and Dapur Hassan, because John enjoys the Mee Rebus a lot.
Oh yeah, I love that Mee Rebus. It's in Tampines, but it's just near where we are. So we really enjoy it. But that being said, the reason why we want to bring up Hassan is because I think over the course of the 2 games against South Korea and Thailand,
he was a star.
I think he was the best player.
Yeah, he is.
He is definitely the best player the Singapore have. And it's unfortunate because he's of an age where he's supposed to be retired.
Or at least, being able to be with similar veterans.
Right, but unfortunately, we don't have anybody better. And I can see why. Because he was really good. If it's not because of Hassan, I think the score against Thailand would have been, at least a good 7 or 8 goals conceded?
I actually would think so too.
Right. It was that bad. That was how bad our passing was.
Also, speaking of bad, I want to say some good things as well. John was saying how good, by the way, to Hassan, if you're watching this, how good your goal distribution is. Yeah, that he was seeing it and he kind of liked it. So
it's not goal distribution.
I don't know what you call it lah.
It's his distribution, his passing.
Okay, your distribution of the passing. Yeah, of the ball.
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I thought it was great. So, but unfortunately, we don't have the players with the technical skills to
receive it.
To not receive it. Not so much the receiving,
because
to capitalize on it. Okay. It's not just there. It's our first touch. It's our composure. It's our passing. There's really. It's almost non-existent. That is the problem.
So we got to work hard on that.
Correct. And it's not just the Thailand game. I mean, in the South Korea game,
we saw that too.
After the whole game, I actually wrote down a whole list of things that I thought, and I just wanted to share it actually. So in terms of Korea, I'm not sure whether you watched the game.
I did watch the highlights.
Watch it? You watched the highlights. So
watch the highlights.
So based on the highlights, what do you think it was?
I'm going to tell you something. It could be an unpopular opinion, but I think Singapore fared better with the game against South Korea for at least the first 20 minutes compared to Thailand. That's what I'm saying. I think they fared better against South Korea than Thailand.
I think that's only because they were parking the bus.
Yeah. But at least they boarded. You get what I mean? At least, like in the game at home, even if you want to park the bus, you don't seem to be parking the bus properly. I'm just going to say it right there. Against South Korea, you could hold them off for at least what? I'm just going to say it right now, right here. We talk about Hassan Sunny being very good. The next thing I want to say is we have very well. Really, security was so good, They were just...
Is that the video that you're just talking about?
Yeah. Because stadium is packed with people. You got to give credit to them. It's not easy, not being able to look behind and just focus on your segment of the crowd. So I got to give it to them. Whereas for our players who are defending, we got to do a bit harder than that. So just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm at a loss of words.
But now,
goodness gracious.
But now,
you know what this tells me?
Yeah, please.
We were so poor, the game was so bad that you had to focus on the security rather than the game itself.
I wouldn't say it's so bad. I'm just saying that I'm just looking at something else and go, hey, actually they do better. So, analogy lah. So I'm using that as a good analogy, which going back to the South Korea game, I just want to say we did really better. Whether or not we were parking the bus, at least we were still doing something, putting in effort. Whereas the game against Thailand, we were at home, we had the home ground advantage, you had at least 20,000 Singaporeans behind you, you had everybody trying to root for you. And even I have to say this to, of course, his name Nishigaya, whatever his coach name. thank you for being able to sing the national anthem.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's correct.
Credit. I mean, thank you.
We have to give him credit.
Yeah, I got to give you credit.
He actually made a point to learn our national anthem.
Even though you were a bit off sync, but not in sync with the thing. But otherwise, I'll give you credit.
I count that to lag time.
Yeah.
Because it's a live feed after all, right? So, live feed, there's usually a lag time, there's a slight delay. But I think that's the only positive thing I have to say about the coach for the Nishigaya, whatever his name is. Because I think it's really time for you to go. You have absolutely no clue. And now I want to highlight the South Korean game.
Okay.
I think that the Thai game, everybody really mentioned it.
Yeah,
we are not attacking enough. We are not even trying to capitalize on anything. We're not even capitalizing on our home ground advantage. Playing so defensive against a Thai team. When honestly, that's realistically the only match that we could have actually won. But coming back to the Korean game, you mentioned about the parking the bus, the first 20 minutes we were actually decent and all. Yeah. But I think it was only possible because they were just focusing, 100% focus on trying to block shots, and then after that, they were just going to kick it out as far as possible. That to me is not football. That to me is just a school game. School game. Okay. Where when you get the ball, first thing you do, you just pump it up. Right. And then you just go back to defense and all. That is not football. If any team that we see in the Premier League or even the Championship playing this way, we will criticize the team to the heavens. Right. Praising them. I mean, criticize, not praising them. Yeah. Criticizing them because that is not football. This is a World Cup qualifying game. This is not a school game. Yeah. So that is one thing I really don't understand what they're doing. And our best player against Korea was Korean. The only player that actually tried to do something, that tried to run at the defense, run at the Koreans, was a Korean. And unfortunately, he didn't do much because there was no support. Everybody was just basically sitting back, waiting for him to something to happen.
Some magic.
And he was the only, and in fact, he was the one that helped us to actually won the free kick for us. And
I don't consider a penalty too, but
I mean, that's beside the point.
That's beside the point.
The good thing is he actually got a free kick. He won us a free kick. And from the resulting free kick, we actually scored a goal, which was out of nowhere, Yeah. But obviously the linesman put his flag up and based on the replays, we saw, it was correctly disallowed for offside. So here's my take on the Japanese coach of Singapore's national team. Right. As an underdog, the way to basically approach a game, parking the bus is one way. Right, but you need to build on that. Build on that goal that has been disallowed. That serves as a warning sign to the Koreans that hey, this is something that Singapore can do. And as underdogs, because we are not as good technically, we are not as good organized in terms of organization. We need to work on the set pieces because set pieces will be the chance for us to counter, or get something out of the game. Yeah, but he didn't do that. Yeah. And instead of bringing in an extra striker, he actually brought off our striker and brought on a midfielder. Yeah, okay. Shortly after the goal was disallowed. That to me was shocking.
So again, to you, I think replicating what happened during Thailand was after, but still just like Thailand. In the South Korean game, tactically, Nishigaya got it wrong again. Well, I think that's his name.
If I were to describe him as a coach, I would say he's tactically inept. Ooh. Seriously. Ooh. That is my description for Nishigaya. Okay. And it is time to go.
So now that we're saying it's time to go, let's throw you this question. Okay, let's throw you this question. Who do you think then should take over as the coach?
I have no idea. But just a few days after, this is a few days after the game.
Yeah, it is few days after. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes.
Mr. Thai guy, coach guy.
The coach of the Thai national team actually left his job.
Yeah, he did.
So now he's a free agent. Why not just get him along? Get him on board.
I mean, he did get Thailand to some decent...
Exactly. And Thailand played beautiful football. They lost narrowly to China 2-1. In fact, the Thais actually performed quite well against the Europeans. They lost 5-0 to Georgia, if I'm not wrong. But I thought they played decent football against Georgia. I was watching some of the highlights of the game as well. So I think, why not just get him along? Because, hey, you can't get any worse than Nishigaya.
Okay. So for all those of you watching, now John is saying that Poking guy, I believe that's his name. Poking, so, yes. I think somewhere there. The Poking guy, the former former coach of the Thai national football team who has left, should come and take over Singapore.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. So if you agree, let us know. Or if you have a name in mind, well, do share with us. It could be Jose Mourinho. Anyway, it's a dream. Huh? Or Gary Neville. Anyway. In any case, let us know who you think. And we'll see you for our next segment because it's called What's Hot? with
Oso.
We'll see you. Maybe Kwan Hong lah. Welcome back to What's What with Who's Who. Now in this, we're going to travel all across the globe to bring you news. And so what news are we going to bring them today, John?
The big news that's happening in the English Premier League are, I think this news is very shocking.
Okay.
And the news is that Everton has just been handed a 10-point deduction for the FFP violation. So in case you don't know what FFP is the Financial Fair Play ruling, where teams are not allowed to record a loss of more than 105 million over a 3-year period and all. So Everton were handed 10 points deduction because supposedly they recorded more than 300 million in deficit over the 3-year period. What to me, I think this is ridiculous because all of us know. I mean, every football fan knows this. If you do not know, you're not a football fan. All right. The Man City were charged with 115 charges of FFP violation, but to date, nothing has been done.
Yeah, Chelsea, by the way. But we had this little loophole. So anyway. Back to Man City.
Yeah, and for all the talk about Everton, I think this Everton scrutiny only took place this year or late last year, and within probably 1 year at most.
Yeah, and suddenly they have a charge.
And whoa, how was it possible that they came to a conclusion in just about less than a year?
Where's the other?
And they are taking ages to settle the issue in Man City. What the is happening?
Yeah, and
I'm totally in agreement with Everton. By the way, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I am with Everton in this front. And Everton came out, with a statement to say that they are both shocked and disappointed by the ruling of the Premier League's commission. All right, and they are rightly saying that it's disproportionate and the unjust sporting sanction, because really, I think it is what it is.
It is,
right. I think Everton maintains that they have been open and transparent and information is provided to the Premier League. Now, this sentence itself, I feel, will speak volumes of how the investigation needs to be done for Man City, because I think Man City have never been open and obviously never been transparent in the information that's been relayed to the Premier League. So I really hope that the people or the panel or whoever is taking charge of the investigation
follow the same set of protocols.
Exactly.
Okay.
Really, because I think it is absolutely ridiculous to punish Everton
without punishing Man City at the same time.
Correct.
Okay.
And when that happens, when Man City eventually gets punished, please give all the teams that became run-ups place their respective medals.
Oh,
I'm talking about Liverpool. I'm talking about Manchester United.
Okay.
The Aguero moment.
Yeah.
The iconic Aguero moment.
Yeah.
Needs to go.
Okay.
Because
of this.
It is what it is.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Okay. So give Ferguson his last, deserving medal that was robbed of him by all this
little things going on. Okay, so I mean, again, I think from my take is that I think if you apply this set of strict FFP protocols to Everton, then the same set of strict protocols should be applied to any other club, not just Man City. Could be even Chelsea. In fact, I'm just going to be neutral here. It could be applied to any club. So I do agree. I think there must be some form of actual set of protocols, not just Everton gets one set, Man City gets one set, Chelsea gets one set, and whatnot. So because of that, Everton's going to get a lot of problem.
Yeah, but you're right. So if you look at the screen now, I think there's been reported that the same panel that docked Everton's points will be judging the compensation claims from the rivals. I think it's not just the compensation claims, but also all the other investigations. Yeah. So I really hope that they will be transparent.
I hope so too.
That they will be consistent. I think this word consistent, it's almost like a punctuation for the English Premier League.
It's missing all the time, huh? Whether it's VAR, now this FFP. So you see, never abbreviate your things. It gets so confusing. VAR gets abbreviated, don't know what's going on. Now you got this FFP, don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? One sounds like vagina, the other sounds like fapping. It just don't make sense at all. So, I mean, just let us know what's going on, because the fans, even I myself, even I could be a Chelsea supporter, which I am. if the club has done something wrong, then punish them lah. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to watch them when they get demoted. I'm going to follow them. So, just saying. I'm a true blue Chelsea fan. So if you're a true blue Man City fan, then if they ever, get...
So do you agree that Chelsea should be...
Well, they should be scrutinized to the same set, but whether or not we did any wrong, I don't know lah. But we should be scrutinized to the same set of protocols. Because according to them, the loophole is that because we stretched the whole contract thing, therefore we're out, right? But again...
Yeah, but that was only because that's what we mentioned about Todd.
Yeah, we did.
Right, but during Roman's time, they didn't do that. And the scrutiny with the financial fair play award for Chelsea happened during Roman's reign.
It was during Roman, so...
Right. So it's not really so much Todd. Todd is just...
Todd's a businessman. He's a businessman. Exactly. And he's American, so...
And but City City on the
other hand,
a
lot of money,
That's a different story altogether.
Yeah. So in any case, that's our take. And FFP, hopefully the same set of rules don't just apply to just Everton that way. Should be applied to the clubs all across the board. And if you're a Toffees fan as well, and you're very unhappy about this, you're unhinged by everything, let us know lah.
Yeah, that's right. That's all right. Guys, that concludes this episode of the 442 Dudes. Once again, we are from Tampines, and if you are Singaporean, you're craving for some very nice Mee Rebus, we want to recommend you to come over here.
Dappo Hassan.
Yeah, it's the support of our best player over the last
best goalie.
Yes.
Block what? 147.
I think
147. 144.
144.
144. Go to block 144, Dappo Hassan.
There you go.
Okay, just quote Chris Henson. Friend of Chris Henson. Okay, then maybe you have one free hard-boiled egg. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, we'll see you anyway. We're the 442 Dudes. And we'll see you. Don't forget to subscribe, follow. And this is brought to you by CCB TV.
I prefer Bergedil.
Oh, really? Okay lah, Bergedil again.